Sup, chodes? How's it going? So, loyal members of my horror guy group, are you ready for the 10 worst movies of the past decade? I am too. So, we're going to dive in. We're going to look at two separate categories. The don't ever fucking watch these, and the so bad it's good, please watch these. So, we're going to bounce back and forth. We're going to do 5, 5, 4, 4, and so on. And we're going to start off with movie 43. That's the don't ever watch category, okay? Number 5, don't ever watch. Don't watch movie 43. One funny segment. They're all rejected SNL skits, and they thought, oh, we'll just get some famous people. That'll sell it. No, don't watch it. It's so bad. Now, thinking of don't think it, don't say it, don't watch it. Number 5, well, because I can't just have 10 movies. Of course, it's the Bye Bye Man. Bye Bye Man has to make this list. And Truth or Dare. Don't fucking... Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare. The horrible CGI. Truth or Dare. Both of these movies are so hilarious in their attempts at horror that you can tell the people who made them never saw a horror movie in their life. Oh my God! E.T. is scarier than these movies. Although E.T. is kind of creepy. But a kid's movie, a frickin' family movie, is more intimidating than anything these have to offer. These are hilarious. Please laugh at these films and go out and check them out. Coming back at number 4 on the don't ever watch this. It's I, Frankenstein. There's nothing good about I, Frankenstein. And there's nothing you can tell me to try and convince me otherwise. This is one of the most heinous acts I've ever witnessed. Oh my gosh, I, Frankenstein. What the hell? There is nothing good about this movie. The script, the everything, the editing. I mean, this movie, if somebody was like, what's the most boring movie you've ever seen? This has to be in my top 3. Oh my goodness, is it freaking awful? There's nothing about I, Frankenstein that's any good. Heck, I could play a chord that's just me putting random figures. That sounds better than anything I, Frankenstein has to offer. Anything. Creepy, man. Coming back to the so bad that it's good. We've got Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Hi, everybody, I'm Cool Cat. Whoa. I'm Van Halen. Cool Cat. There's a scene where Daddy Derek plays some mean guitar on an EVH 5150, and it's not even close to the best thing in this. All I gotta say is, put this movie on. Anytime something stupid happens, take a shot. You'll be dead halfway through. Watch for Eric Estrada. You get some Eric Estrada from Chips going on. And that's all you need, man. The Beatles need to change the song. It's not all you need is love. All you need is Eric Estrada. That's number 4. Cool Cat Saves the Kids. Yeah, now coming back at Don't Ever Watch, one of the few films I fell asleep in the theater for. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. I love Nicolas Cage. And when you see my top films of the decade, you'll know I appreciate a good Nick Cage. And actually, I think this is the only Nick Cage film that's on this list, which is kind of surprising, but other people just had to outdo the Cage Man. There's actually some big budget, really huge budget films that are still yet to be seen on here, so that's going to be exciting. But Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, to ask me to recoup anything from this film would be very difficult, except simply Nick Cage, instead of burning into people's brains and all kinds of craziness from the first one that at least attempts to be good. This one, I'm intimidating you. I'm Ghost Rider. What an absolute failure of a film. Oh, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. I remember I was excited, and then like 15 minutes in, I'm like, uh-oh. And my phone actually, here's a funny story, my phone actually malfunctioned. So we were in there, and I woke up from dozing off, and it said like 8 hours had passed, and I believed it because this movie was so freaking awful. And I don't want to say slow, because deliberately slow is more methodical. There's no method to this madness. Burn in hell. Coming in at number 3 on the So Bad It's Good is a film that, if we're just looking at audio, oh my God, Birdemic. You only need to watch the first scene after the car driving around, which, if you've seen Birdemic, you know it opens on a guy just driving in his car for like 6 minutes. Then he finally gets to the destination, and he gets out, and the waitress lady, hi, but she goes, and then very loudly, hi, like freaking clipping beyond belief. Anybody who knows audio, the clipping, Slayer. Audio. There you go. Number 3. So now we're hitting the heavy hitters. And anybody who knows me knows this next one's going to be feeling really fucking good to get off my chest. Coming in at one of the worst, horrible, how did this get made films of all time. This is in my list. This would make my top 5 worst anything I've ever witnessed. This is less traumatizing than the JFK assassination. And yes, Justice League, that's correct. I knew you knew what was coming. How? A movie that makes Batman vs. Superman look legitimately Best Picture worthy. A film that is so horribly stitched together from 2 of the most opposite ideas of what the movie should be ever. You get Zack Snyder, a guy who's completely focused on visuals and creating a dark atmosphere, and Joss Whedon, a guy who doesn't have a serious bone in his body. And you slam the fucking shit both of them spewed out together. Slam them together, and you give us one of the ugliest, horrible bastard of a film ever. I mean, from the opening scene, I knew this was going to just be absolutely fucking stupid. Yes, Justice League. Rest in pepperoni. I hope the DCEU falls apart and they get smart. Start doing stuff like Joker, which was actually really fucking good. Yes, or Shazam, which made me laugh. That's a good time. Wonder Woman's good. Aquaman's a fun, dumb movie, but it's fun. There's nothing about Justice League that's anything good. There's no fun. There's no happiness. Just can't wait to fucking die watching this fuck. That was number 2 on the don't ever watch. Please don't ever watch it. Now, for one of my favorite films of all time. Twisted Pair. Yes, the master himself finally shows up on our list. The master Neil Breen, one of the greatest living Ed Wood impersonators. Neil Breen is a man whose genius goes beyond us, and his inability to describe his own work is proof that it just goes beyond even himself. His own self. He can't even comprehend his own work. The genius in Twisted Pair. The absolute disregard for any semblance of a cohesive story. If you don't know who Neil Breen is, you gotta watch this movie. And if you can't see Twisted Pair, there's another one for you. No spoilers, but... spoilers. You gotta see Twisted Pair. You gotta see any Neil Breen you can. Look up Neil Breen, go to IMDb, investigate his work, see what you can find. And if you really want it, DM me. Wink, wink, nudge, not say no more. Moving onward. Yes, the worst movie of the past decade. The don't ever watch this. A movie I just can't wait to lambast. And I enjoy its suffering. A film that put me through fucking living hell. A film that Disney thought was fucking good enough. A script that just fucking spits in your fucking face. Everybody who ever fucking made this franchise a goddamn thing, just fuck you. And of course, it's Last Jedi. What other film could it fucking been? There's nothing good about The Last Jedi. Not a single fucking good thing. From the papier-mâché bombers to the most obnoxious fucking characters you've ever seen. You got purple hair. She's great. She has a lot of depth. You know, I'm really, really glad they kill Akbar off screen, but purple hair is a fucking hero who sacrifices herself. The Force is female. The Force is female. Don't you understand? If you're a white male, and you should be just feeling horrible about everything that's ever happened. Everything that's ever happened is your fault. Oh my God. Let's not go after the actual perpetrators of people who do shit. Let's group everybody into these checkboxes and fucking go after them. Do you want me to be on your side? That's not going to work. This film is so heinous, so lackluster, so boring. like literally a documentary on dirt and how the fertilization process occurs through the bugs involved in it would be more interesting. A Zack Snyder documentary where it's just all visuals on dirt. A Neil Breen documentary on dirt. Okay, I would finance that. Rian Johnson, you're the worst fucking filmmaker I've ever seen. And if any director ever is the definition of fucking pretentious, you are far beyond that. You are so up your own fucking ass, and you fucking ruined something I fucking love. I will sit through episode 1, and I will tolerate Jar Jar. Because you know what? He's our idiot. Because you know what? George fucking cared about us. Rian Johnson doesn't give a flying fuck about you. He doesn't give a flying fuck about Star Wars. He didn't give a flying fuck about anything other than his own goddamn self. Oh, I'm going to destroy Star Wars. Okay. Then why'd you fucking make one? You know what? You are right. You destroyed it. It was so fucking awful that I'll never see another one again. Fuck you. Whew. You know, just getting over trauma. It's really a lot, you know. Rian Johnson sucks. He doesn't care about us. He makes awful films for himself. He only cares about who Rian Johnson is and what Rian Johnson does. Speaking of falling asleep, his other heinous crime I witnessed in theaters, blooper. My uncle fell asleep during, and how just fitting. What a boring movie that was, too. This guy just doesn't have any fucking clue how to entertain anybody. I mean, let's rip off Terminator and The Omen and spend most of this movie on a goddamn farm talking about how this kid's misunderstood. You know what is misunderstood? Your idea, Star Wars, you dumb motherfucker. Fuck you. It feels so good. It feels so good. Oh my gosh. For everybody who hates Last Jedi, down in the comments, leave something for Rian Johnson. Tell him to eat a fucking nutsack. I don't give a fuck. Rian Johnson, I hope you watch this, you piece of fuck. And I'll never fucking watch Knives Out. Also very interesting how Rotten Tomatoes had it at a 67% audience score, and then just 2 days later it was at a 92%. Because they removed the troll reviews. You're silencing people, and you're silencing what we want, Rotten Tomatoes. We see through you, you critics, and you heinous up your own ass motherfuckers. You don't understand who we are, the people. You're so out of touch. You're so far up your own ass, and you're so concerned with destroying the idea of Star Wars that you forgot to put anything worth a fuck in a movie. The worst film of all time, Last Jedi. And now on to a movie that I can actually probably say some very positive things about, Fateful Findings. Fateful Findings, Neil Breen's ultimate classic, Fateful Findings from 2013. A film that I would legitimately put in my top 10 most enjoyable watches of all time. There is something about this film, something about every bit of acting, something about the script, the fact that the story just decides to lose track of what it is every 25 minutes. The fact that everyone wants to get naked with Breen. Like just women see Neil and they're just like, You know what? I need to get naked now. Now, I will be honest, you don't see great nudity because, of course, Neil couldn't pay for much, but they'll strip and then turn away from him and like, oh, I want you, Neil. I need you. Because he has got all of our government secrets and corporate secrets. He goes from being an author to the greatest hacker of all time. Go see this movie. Please see Fateful Findings and never watch Last Jedi. If you've never seen Last Jedi, never do. Make sure you look up everything beforehand, and if you see Rian Johnson's name, please say no. I'm going to pull out the Reagan campaign from the 80s. Just say no to Rian Johnson. Say no to everybody's least favorite Little Johnson. You know what? That's the truth. We were punished for having a Little Johnson, right? Star Wars was punished for having a Little Johnson. I'm sweaty. I'm into it. Let's play some rock music.